Hey everyone, welcome to the Teaching Success podcast. This is episode number 1 titled How to Change Your Life. And really, the entire podcast can be called How to Change Your Life because that's really what the goal of this podcast is to help you guys change your life, to help you guys achieve the level of success that you're looking for. That doesn't matter if it's financial, if it's health, if it's relationship, whatever it is. This is the podcast for you guys to learn how to finally reach that level of success that you have been looking for. And really, the first thing you need to understand is that change is possible, that success is possible. A lot of people, I'm sure myself back in the day, same thing. Like, I've tried so many different things to be successful, read different books, tried different courses, have done all these different things. And I got to the point where, I almost gave up, just thinking that, success just isn't for me. I'm maybe just not that person. It's just, it's not happening for me. But obviously that was foolish. That was the wrong type of thinking, because I now have achieved the level of success that I'm looking for. And that's the goal, is to help you guys reach that level of success as well. But if you have that mindset, if you have that doubt, if you have whatever, you need to start with understanding and really accepting that change is possible for everyone, including yourself. And with that change comes that level of success. But in order to get that success, you do need to change yourself. You need to change your life. There's a reason why I'm saying change, why a lot of people in this field, self-improvement, it's always improvement, change. It's these different things, because success won't come unless you actually change. If you're the type of person that doesn't need to change to be successful, you would already be successful, right? You wouldn't be listening to this podcast. You wouldn't be doing anything. You'd already be there. The fact that you're not, that you're listening to this, that you're, I'm sure, reading other books, listening to other videos, doing whatever you're trying to improve, means that you do need to change, that your current life, that your current mindset, that your current everything, just it's not where it needs to be in order for you to be successful. But success is possible as long as you're willing to change. Now, a lot of people think that in order to be successful, you have to be, the biggest, the strongest, the smartest, the richest, the whatever it is. And that's really not the case. I'm going to go a little bit off topic here, but it does tie back, I promise. Darwin's theory of evolution. Not everyone, but a lot of people think, as soon as you hear Darwin, evolution, they think survival of the fittest. Again, the biggest, the strongest, the fastest. These are the animals that are going to thrive, that are going to be successful. In that case, success is just living and procreating. But it's not survival of the fittest. That's not what Darwin actually concluded. That's not what his theory is. It's actually survival of the adaptable. Right? So let me say that again. It's not survival of the fittest. It's survival of the adaptable. The species, the animals that are able to change, that are able to adapt to their environments, those are the ones that are going to succeed. Those are the ones that are going to procreate, top of the food chain, all that stuff. It's entirely based on how adaptable they are, not on how fit they are, how strong, fast, whatever the case may be. And as humans, we are the most adaptable species that there is. So for you guys, that's good hope, right? That means we already, as a species, why we're the apex predator, why we're the top of everything, is because we have this ability to change, to be adaptable. That's why we are successful as a species. Right? If you look at an animal, doesn't matter how big, strong, fast an animal is. Let's say, it's summer and the animal is doing fantastic. And again, he's the biggest, the strongest, he's whatever. When winter comes around, doesn't matter how big, how strong, how fast you are, you're going to freeze, right? It doesn't matter. What matters is the animals that can adapt to the change in seasons, that can go from summer where it's extremely hot to winter where there's scarcity of food, less sunlight, extremely cold, all these different things. It's the ones that can adapt to that. Those are the ones that survive. Now, us as humans, we're able to survive winter. We're able to adapt by, we make clothing, we make fire, we have homes, heating, all that stuff. So it doesn't matter. Like, we have no fur. We're not the strongest animal. We're not the biggest animal. But if it's summer, we have air conditioning. We have thin clothes. If it's winter, we have heating. We have, jackets and hats and mittens and all these different things. We're able to adjust to the environment, and that is what leads to our success as a species. So my point here is, you are a human. You are already part of this species that is highly adaptable, and it's that adaptability that has allowed us to survive and thrive. So there's no reason why you can't change who you are and what you're doing to reach that level of success, because it's in our DNA. It's why we're here. It's what humans do best, is change. Well, recognizing patterns, but also being able to change, to be adaptable. And really that's the key to success. Not that there's one specific thing, but if there were one specific thing, it would be you have to be adaptable. Adaptable, and like I said, recognizing patterns is kind of the second thing, probably the second most important. And with that, I'm sure you've heard, if you guys follow a lot of this success, mind stuff, different things, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, these type of people, they talk a lot about the fact that success leaves clues. And what they mean by that is that in order to be successful, there's certain things you have to do, a certain mindset you have to have, certain habits you have to have, certain actions you need to take in order to be successful. And if you just observe someone who's successful, you can actually find out what these habits, what this mindset, what all these different things are. There's clues behind every single person's success. There's also clues behind people who aren't successful. And back, like I said, humans, we are, the apex species because, one, we are adaptable, but two, pattern recognition. Right? Again, it's in our DNA. It's what makes us. We, as a species back in the day, we understood that there was summer, fall came, winter came, back to spring, and so on. And really where we started to thrive is when we recognized these patterns and we started to take action on it. We saw fall was coming, we would start to harvest our crops and save it for the winter. Right? So again, we're being adaptable, we're changing to the different seasons, and we're recognizing these different patterns, these different clues in success. And I'm sure, you'd have to look this up, and I'm not an expert in civilization or anything like that, but I'm sure one civilization, one city, one group of people, whatever, saw that someone else was doing this, and then they started doing the same thing, right? I highly doubt that all these different cities, groups of people at the time, all understood how to grow crops and harvest. They probably saw one person do it, and they probably started doing it themselves. They traveled, they seen these people interact, and they learned from each other, right? So again, they're adaptable. They're like, hey, what I'm doing right now isn't working. Look at these guys, they're thriving. What are they doing? Oh, they're harvesting their food because winter is coming. That's what they started doing. That's why they started to thrive as well, right? It's, again, success leaves clues. So for you to be successful, if you really want to be successful, all you have to do is be adaptable and look for those clues, right? So in every one of these podcasts, what I want to do is leave a little bit of, not necessarily homework, but things for you guys to do, something to think about. I'll get to that probably towards the end of the episode, but really what you guys need to start doing is look at someone who is successful, that has that level of success that you are looking for, and just watch what they're doing, and don't start implementing things or anything like that. But at this point, really just find someone that you can role model, someone who's achieved the level of success that you're looking for, and just start observing them. Start looking for these clues to success. Now, ideally, you want to find someone who came from a similar background, who is a very, as close as possible to you. And what I mean by that is, let's say if your goal, your definition of success is to have a very, be thin, have a fit body, muscular, whatever. Find someone, let's say right now you're currently overweight and you're looking to lose weight. Find someone who was overweight, who then lost the weight and became fit and healthy, right? There's tons of people who are just naturally thin, never really overweight. I happen to be one of those people. I understand. I know how to lose weight. I know how to stay fit, but how I do it is probably going to be different than someone who is overweight, because there's a lot of different factors. A lot of it is, biological, different genes, stuff like that. But find someone who has a similar body type to you, who came from a similar past as you, and who then reached that level of success. So again, if you're overweight, you're looking to lose weight, find someone who was overweight and then lost the weight. Don't necessarily listen to someone who's always been thin their life. If you're looking for financial freedom, for financial abundance, let's say you're currently, you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're struggling. Find someone who was in that same situation, who, wasn't born privileged, who didn't have a lot of money, who didn't have all these opportunities. Find someone who's just like you, that was living the paycheck to paycheck and then became successful. Because again, the steps to get from someone living paycheck to paycheck to success is different than someone who already has some success, who is, middle class or slightly wealthy, who's just looking to get that next level. What they need to do, the actions they need to take, are different than that person that started off, kind of at the bottom. So as much as possible, find someone as closest to your current situation and who achieve that level of success that you're looking for, and just start looking for those clues. It's really as simple as that. Now, I say it's simple, but the problem is a lot of people think, I'm right. I know I can do it. This is I'm going to be successful. I have to do this way. I know what the best thing is, blah, 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 all these different things. And this is going to be a harsh truth to those people, but you're wrong. It's as simple as that. You're not right. The actions you're taking are not the correct ones. You don't know what the best course of action is. You don't know what to do. And the reason why I'm saying that, and why I'm fairly confident in that statement, is because if you knew what to do, if you were right, if you knew everything, you would have that level of success. You wouldn't be listening to this podcast. And I don't care if you're someone who's already successful. You're making $1 million a year, but your goal is to make $10 million a year, $100 million, whatever. You need to change your mindset. You need to do things differently. Again, you could be making $1 million, but if your goal is 10 million, you're doing something wrong. So what you need to understand is that you are not right. You need to push your ego aside and realize that you need to do things differently, that you need help from others. You need to do what others have done. You need to, again, be adaptable and follow patterns, right? So again, look at those people who have reached that level of success and start looking at what they're doing. Don't take any action yet, but just start watching them, start thinking about it. And over time, you can recognize these patterns, and that's how we're going to get to that level of success that you're looking for. But the biggest thing for you right now is probably the fact that you think that you're right and that you don't need to change anything. And I want to counter that with, I'm not sure if you ever heard the saying, A students work for C managers. And what that basically means is, back in school, people who were A students, they were the brightest, the smartest, the hardest working, the whatever, they reached that level of success in school. generally they're not the most successful. They're not the wealthiest. They're not just successful. It's as simple as that. They're generally not the most successful people. They're not the managers. They're not the ones starting companies, running companies, CEOs, all this stuff. The people in those high level positions, the ones that are successful in life, generally, and again, this is a generalization, not every single person, but generally it's the people that were C students that are the managers. They're not, again, they're not the smartest, they're not the biggest, the brightest, the richest, whatever. But chances are they're probably really good with people, they're adaptable, and again, they probably recognize these patterns in business, in whatever, that allow them to be successful. The problem is generally the really smart people, these A students, they have a big ego. They think that, well, I'm smart, I'm right. I can figure this out. I can become rich. I can lose weight. I can whatever. I'll figure it out myself because I'm an A student. I'm a smart person. And for some people, they might be able to, but again, most of them aren't. And if you're watching this, if you're listening to this podcast, chances are you're in that category. So the biggest thing, the biggest hurdle for you probably is going to be to realize that you're not right, that you need to do things differently, that you need to listen to other people, that you need to change. It's as simple as that. If you look at leaders in general, whether it's business, leading a country, generals, for war and stuff back in the day, again, they weren't the biggest, the smartest, the strongest. The reason why they're successful is they surround themselves with people who are smarter, bigger, stronger, whatever. That's how they become successful. Jeff Bezos talks about this a lot, that he never wants to be the smartest person in the room. If he's the smartest person in the room, there's a problem. He wants people around him that are smarter, that will give him ideas, that will make suggestions, and then him as a leader will look at the different ideas and then take a decision based off of that. But he's not the one coming up with these ideas. He's just acting on and making decisions based off other people's information. Again, he's not the strongest, but what he is adaptable, and he recognizes patterns. And that's why at one point he was the richest person in the world. So if you want to be successful, just realize that you need to do things differently from what you're currently doing. You need to change who you are. Again, there's a reason why this episode is how to change your life. It's not how to improve your life. It's not how to whatever. It's how to change your life. Because in order to change your life, in order to reach success, you need to change things. You need to do things differently than what you're currently doing. And again, the overall formula for success is pretty simple. There's clues. There's a basic formula. There's tools, there's processes, there's things that you need to do, that you can do, that will lead to that level of success as long as you follow them. And really that's what this podcast is going to be all about, is giving you guys those tools, explaining what those tools are, why they're important, and how to use them. And then hopefully you'll start implementing those tools and change your life and reach success as a result of this. The goal of this podcast really is for someone to start at episode 1 and go all the way down to how many episodes I'm going to end up making, but really just listening to episode by episode and being able to change your life by doing nothing else but listening to this podcast. That is my goal for you guys. That's the goal of this podcast, is to help people achieve success, change their life just by listening to this podcast. Now, not everyone is going to be able to just listen to this and implement everything and start doing everything. A lot of people are going to need additional assistance. They're going to need coaching. They're going to need, a better explanation of tools. We're going to have to go a lot more in depth, learn about things from your past in order to help change your future, stuff like that. So for those people, I will be offering a course in the future. It's not going to be available yet, probably not anytime soon, because even if you are one of those people that need that extra little bit of help to reach success, I still want those people to start with this podcast, because this is going to build the foundation. If you jump right into that course, the majority of people just aren't ready for it yet. Your mindset's not there. You don't have the understanding, the concepts. It would just be a waste of time and money for everybody. So really, I want, even if you're interested in a course, stick with this podcast for now. And when we're ready, we can get into the course. But for those of you that aren't interested in a course, just listening to this podcast alone will make a difference in your life. It will help you achieve success. I guarantee that. It just may not be to the same level as if you want to work with me one-on-one and actually do some coaching and go through the course. So that's really it for this episode. Episode number 1, again, how to change your life. Like I said, this is going to be more of a brief overview, kind of an introduction. The next episode and from there forward, we're going to get a lot more detailed, go into actual concepts, tools, things to actually help. Even with this episode though, what I want to do really is, like I said, leave a kind of homework for people. And in this episode, really, there's 2 things that I want you guys to do. One is just to understand that change is possible and that success is possible for you specifically. So what I want you to do is take a couple of minutes, 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just go somewhere quiet, away from everybody, turn off your phone, turn off all distractions, just sit alone by yourself and just really think about your life and think about what it is you want to change and why you want to change, and just really get excited about the fact that you can change, that it doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter if you're living paycheck to paycheck, if you're overweight, if you have a terrible relationship and you're about to get divorced. It doesn't matter where you are in your life right now. Get excited about the fact that your life can and will change. But understand that in order for change to come, you need to change who you are as a person. You need to change the things that you do. But again, just think about the fact that you want to change and really get excited about the fact that you want to change, and just start envisioning kind of what a perfect life, whatever success is for you. Start thinking about that and just get really happy and just think about it over and over again. Again, for a few minutes, 2-3 minutes, really. If you want to go longer than that, fantastic. But at this point, even just 2-3 minutes, just think about that. The second thing I want you to do is start looking. You don't even necessarily have to find someone right now, because it may take time to find the right person. But whatever your idea of success is, whatever your goals are, I want you to start looking for someone that reached that level of success that you're looking for, that ideally started in the same place where you are right now. This could be someone that you know personally. This could be, through someone that wrote a book. This could be someone that has a YouTube channel. This could be just a celebrity that, that you just follow, that whatever, that you can find information about. So just look around and try and find someone that has that level of success that you're looking for. And that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this, if you found value in it, please, if you're on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. If you can, please share this with friends and family, anyone that you think this would be helpful for, anyone else that's looking for success. Ideally, if you know a couple people, maybe you guys can all watch it together, improve together. Really, that's a great way to achieve success, is to do with people, to grow together with them. So please share this with others. And like I said, I know this episode wasn't too detailed. This was more just about an initial introduction, but please stay tuned. Listen to the further episodes, and that's where we're really going to get into some real details, some tools, and you're really going to start changing your life. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode.